Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 27, 2024. And in the news this evening, taxi operator gets 57 years in prison for sexually assaulting woman. A 46-year-old taxi operator in St. Elizabeth has been sentenced to 57 years imprisonment at hard labor for sexually assaulting a woman more than 4 years ago. Dwight, someone who was tried in the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court, received 25 years for rape, 8 years for forcible abduction, 5 years for buggery, 3 years for grievous bodily harm, 1 year for assault at common law, and 15 years for illegal possession of firearm. He will be eligible for parole after serving 25 years. Someone was found guilty on all charges on March 20. The court heard that on the morning of December 28, 2019, the 63-year-old complainant boarded someone's taxi at the gate of Black River Hospital. Upon reaching the vicinity of the Black River Bridge, someone brandished a gun and took the woman to a location in Hounslow where he raped her. Someone was arrested in January 2020 and later charged after he was pointed out in an identification parade. During his testimony, someone told the court that he transported the complainant to Hounslow at her request. This was rejected by Chief Justice Brent Sykes, who found the evidence of the complainant credible. In handing down sentence, Justice Sykes bemoaned the violent nature of the attack and the high number of sex-related incidents in St. Elizabeth. It was noted in the community service report from the probation office that someone who is married is a high-risk sex offender. Bail extended for 4 women accused in Sagor fraud. The 4 women charged in connection with a multi-million-dollar fraud racket uncovered at the Sagor Bank in 2022 are to return to the court on September 17 for a plea and a case management hearing. Elisa Moulton White, a former vice president for group marketing at the Sagor Group Jamaica, client care officer Tishon Samuels, and the former Sagor Bank employees Trisha Monique Moulton and Malika McLeod are accused of conspiring and defrauding the U.S. foreign currency accounts of about 6 Sagor customers. Their bail was extended when they appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday morning. Investigators say more than $60 million was defrauded from customers' accounts in the alleged scam. One account was reported defrauded of $40 million. EOJ offices to open Saturday so eligible persons can register to vote. The Electoral Office of Jamaica will open all constituency offices this Saturday, March 30, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. to allow eligible persons to conveniently register to vote. The EOJ say the move was done in an effort to facilitate persons who are unable to visit its offices during regular opening hours. Individuals who wish to be added to the voters list may apply at the nearest EOJ constituency office. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown added that those who register after the March 30 deadline will not be included in the May 31 voters list. They will have to wait to be added to the November 30 list. Prospective electors are advised to wear bright or dark-colored clothing to facilitate the process of taking their photograph. Persons already on the voters list are being reminded not to reapply, but to instead request a renewal if their voter ID card is expired. 7 U.S. boys removed from private facility in St. Elizabeth after abuse allegations. The Child Protection and the Family Services Agency has reportedly acted on allegations of abuse at the Atlantis Leadership Academy in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth, and removed 7 American boys from the facility last month. According to a report by NBC News published Wednesday, the boys are in state custody. Atlantis Leadership Academy advertises itself as a faith-based school serving teenagers who are struggling with substance abuse, anxiety disorders, and defiant behavior. NBC News says the CPFSA sent emails to the parents of the affected boys last month, informing them of the allegations of mistreatment amounting to abuse, and as a result had removed them from the private facility on February 8. The CPFSA also indicated that it was working to have the boys returned to the United States. The report said that the CPFSA did not elaborate on the types of abuse alleged, and said it could not comment due to the ongoing investigation. It is unclear how the allegations came to light. One mother, Tara Fleischman, who spoke to NBC News, shared a recording of a call with one of the boys in which he told her that her son Cody was frequently beaten by the staff at Atlantis Leadership Academy and sometimes went days without food. Ms. Fleischman said prior to this development, her only contact with her son had been through photographs sent by the staff of the facility. A court hearing was reportedly held on March 15. The matter will again be heard in April. In a letter to parents, Program Director Randall Cook said with the facility's reputation, no one would believe the allegations that it is an abusive organization. Jamaican man arrested in U.S. deaths of woman and her baby. A Jamaican man wanted since 2021 in the deaths of a 20-year-old woman and her 1-year-old daughter has been arrested in the United States. The Orange County Sheriff's Office in Florida said on Tuesday that Dujon Dwayne Griffiths, 23, was arrested after being stopped by authorities in New Jersey. Masania Malcolm, 20, was found shot to death inside a car in September 2021, and her daughter was also found dead in the vehicle. Investigators said the 1-year-old died from being left alone inside a hot car. Griffiths was staying with Malcolm, her boyfriend, and their child at the time of the killings. The boyfriend, who was found shot multiple times, told the deputies he was shot in the car by Griffiths. The man said he believed his girlfriend was shot as well, and believed a friend drove off in the car with Malcolm and the baby. Griffiths faces charges of first-degree murder in the deaths of Malcolm and her baby. He is also facing an additional charge of attempted murder in the shooting of Malcolm's boyfriend. Juliet Holness needs guidance as House Speaker, says a commentator. Political commentator Lloyd B. Smith says House Speaker Juliet Holness is in need of guidance to effectively carry out her duties following her issuance of a reprimand letter to Clerk of the Houses of Parliament Valerie Curtis regarding the handling of Auditor General reports. Mr. Smith says the back and forth with the Auditor General about the tabling of 2 special audit reports also suggests that Mrs. Holness is displaying a level of ignorance on the parliamentary procedures. Mr. Smith, who is a former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, said those who are elevated to the post of Deputy Speaker and the Speaker should undergo training.
Because clearly what I see evolving here is that Mrs. Holness is just trudging along in so many different directions, fumbling and getting herself into all sorts of unnecessary problems. It is critical for her to know, for example, that politicians ought not to take on civil servants in that manner.
Mr. Smith said Mrs. Holness should also withdraw the letter and publicly apologize to Ms. Curtis. The House Speaker has said that she and the clerk are in dialogue and there will be no further comment on the issue. Mrs. Holness also indicated that she would be meeting with Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis in relation to reports sent to the Houses of Parliament for tabling. Political analyst Jermaine Barrett has said the decisions of the House Speaker regarding the tabling of reports from the Auditor General and Integrity Commission have been chaotic. Mr. Barrett also agreed that a letter of reprimand to the clerk to the Houses of Parliament should be withdrawn.
I think it's shambolic, the way things have proceeded, and one of the problems that, from where I sit as a member of the public at large, is the fact that we just don't have enough information to guide an informed opinion. So, for example, the refusal of the Speaker to share with the public what and the public through the Parliament, through our Parliament, what the advice is from the Attorney General. I think it is very, very, very bad, and I really do pray and hope that she rescinds from that position and demonstrate a degree of responsiveness, accountability. Full transparency is what is needed.
Finance Ministry urged to recover almost $5 million overpaid to former FSC Executive Director. The Auditor General's Department has urged the Ministry of Finance to recover nearly $5 million from the Financial Services Commission. This comes after it conducted a special audit report that was tabled in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. The Auditor General conducted an investigation into allegations of excessive expenditure and human resource and procurement malpractices from March 2015 to September 2022. The report revealed that FSC made separation payments to an executive director on June 12, 2017, amounting to $11.1 million. A breakdown of that payment indicated that statutory liabilities owed were not deducted from the over $11 million. To address the omission, the FSC chairman instructed that the $4.76 million be treated as an ex gratia payment and the FSC would pay Tax Administration of Jamaica the requisite statutory deductions. The report said the FSC did not demonstrate a proper fiduciary responsibility when it accepted that liability. It was also revealed that the chairman instructed a payment of $1,000 to the executive director, for which there was no evidence that both the payments were brought to the attention of the board. It further disclosed that there was no evidence of a letter of resignation or where the decision to separate was made by the board in alignment with the terms of the former director's contract. The findings indicated that the FSC breached the procurement procedures when a consultant who was contracted by the former executive director was paid $28,000 for work from February to September 2015 without any terms of reference. In relation to procurement issues, the 22-page special audit noted that there were instances where officers were employed or promoted without being interviewed or the positions being advertised. Meanwhile, the report also found that a loss of more than $163 million was incurred following the hosting of the International Organization of Securities Commissions conference in 2017. But board minutes indicated that there were missteps in the management of the contracting and other arrangements relating to the conference, but that in the interest of maintaining Jamaica's reputation, efforts would be made to make the conference a success. The Auditor General's Department also noted that 71 positions costing more than $300 million annually were not on the ministry's list of established posts, but found that there was no evidence of intention to circumvent government policy. It further stated that while the FSC generally acted in accordance with government guidelines, several matters were unsettled with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service.